This is just a reinforcement of letting myself know that I am not hard to love, right? It's not hard to love me. Give yourself the love that you're looking for. You are the love that you're looking for. Hey friend, come on in. Come take your shoes off, have a seat. I got snacks, I got tea, I got everything you need to feel comfortable, to feel safe. My name is Kyla Mayette, as you can see right here on my necklace. Also, before we get into it, I need you to subscribe. I need you to click that notification bell, and I need you to like this video, so that I can give you more. And let me know in the comments what you want to hear from me, okay? But seriously, this is a topic I feel like a lot of people can relate to when it comes to love and loving yourself. I can feel the shift that's happening for me right now when it comes to this idea of love and how we receive love. I'm in this space of loving myself differently, or showing up for myself, choosing myself, but also navigating my space in this world and in this space of when it comes to love. I have been, as a quick little update, I have been kind of drowning in a lot of self-doubt. Self-doubt about my career, self-doubt about my relationships, and so on and so forth. And a lot of times I look towards others to validate me, and not necessarily always people. It could always be like experiences or even reactions to validate myself, or to validate that I'm doing something right, or I'm going in the right directions. I think a lot of people can relate when we are constantly looking for like signs from the universe, or affirmations and things of that nature. And nothing's wrong with that necessarily, but it does get toxic when it's a constant, right? And I am in a space of trying to validate myself and give myself the love that I'm seeking outside of myself. You see, I sometimes have a hard time looking within myself for the things that I'm looking outside of myself for. Looking for that person or that reaction, this experience, this opportunity to validate who I am as a person. Because who I am as a person is just, it just is, right? You don't necessarily need someone to tell you or to make you feel like you're lovable. You're just lovable. I think I spent a very, very long time looking for that in other people, especially my romantic relationships, and just doing a reflection on my past relationships, even within my friendships, right? Trying to validate who I am. And unfortunately, a lot of that comes from the non-validation, or the lack of validation, the lack of affirming within your like family unit or parental figures, or just even the dynamic that you may have within your family. Especially my family obviously extends further, just like everybody else's, but it extends further than just like the immediate family. And a lot of times when I'm in that space, I do go quite small, or I'm very an observant person, so I do tend to look outside a lot, you observing what's happening and trying to navigate the space. And sometimes with that, it ends up in me not taking up space, not doing the things that I want to do, or saying the things I want to say, because I don't want to rub somebody the wrong way or make someone feel some kind of way. And sometimes like you just gonna have to like just take what comes with being yourself, like saying your truth and being in yourself. And whoever accepts it, and whoever doesn't. I'm realizing the truth is, regardless of whether the person or that experience is doing it for you or not, it will never really truly play out the way you think it's going to, and it always leaves at least in my experiences, always leaves me disappointed. Always leaves me in this state of, well, I have, confirmation bias, basically. Like, oh, should have known he was going to disappoint me. Oh, should have known, like, you didn't really truly care about me. You didn't really truly love me, or so on and so forth. That's not always, like, fair, not only to that person, but to yourself. And a lot of times, like, these situations don't necessarily always play out the way that I think it's supposed to. And then I also end up in disappointment, and then it replays this cycle of not feeling loved, not feeling important, not feeling chosen, not feeling like I matter in this scenario. I'm looking for these forms of gestures, these grand gestures, small gestures, and when it doesn't necessarily play out, like, for instance, like, birthdays are a really, really big deal for me, and I say that because I love celebrating other people. I love to make other people's birthdays or other people's achievements, other people's life changes a big deal, just to celebrate. Like, eventually one day, like, when my daughter gets her first period, like, I want to throw a period party for her, things of that nature. And I've noticed that a lot of times when I do that, it's because I want it done for myself, and normally end up not getting those things. And then when I don't get those things, especially from, like, a romantic partner, I always end up in this, like, doubtful state of just, like, this person doesn't care about me, this person doesn't see me. And regardless if it's true or not, like, that's something that I need to find within myself. What ways am I showing up and loving and showing myself the love that I need to receive in order to really truly feel it? Like, a lot of times I don't necessarily feel it, and I think the problem is it's because, like, I'm not starting with myself. I go out of my way to make everybody and anybody feel appreciated or loved or special, especially on special days. And I genuinely want somebody to do that for me, whether it's friend, family member, whatever the case may be. I know that, like, that person shows up for you in this manner. That tells me, in my brain, like, this person cares about you. They're going to show up for you. They're going to really be there for you. And that can sometimes be unrealistic because, right, what if they're sick that day? I think a lot of it, obviously, just like most things for most people, comes from childhood, comes from trauma, comes from the pain of not necessarily being physically abandoned, but definitely emotionally abandoned, having to turn to myself and learn things on my own, even with both parents in the home. A lot of times people think just because the parents are in the home, like, you're just, like, automatically, like, you're good. Like, it doesn't matter if the parent is there or not. If the parent is there and they're toxic, guess what? Like, it affects the child too. It affects children too, and the entire ecosystem of their home. I think that this happens because in my home, I've seen my parents fight a lot, and I thought that I had this superpower to basically end the fighting. Like, if I got them to focus on me and me only, then they will stop fighting. The fighting will cease, and all the problems will disappear, and essentially, like, they cared enough about me to end the harm that's been happening in the home, whatever the case may be. And I think I'm noticing how that's translated into my friendships and into especially my relationships, where, like, if I see that you are willing to do things in this manner, I know that you really love and care about me. I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with that. There is some truth to that, but it does become an issue when you are solely looking for it to come out of that person. You know what I mean? Like, it has to be that person, or it has to be a romantic partner. And I'm realizing that there's just some things that you get from everyone. Obviously, like, you get to know that person, you meet them where they are, and you work from there. Realizing, like, not everybody is necessarily your friend, and like, you meet people who become your best of friends, and there's friends you have for certain situations, like, but unfortunately that's not a lesson I fully encompassed in my romantic relationships. And I am really starting to have my eyes open up to that. I'm noticing that I'm giving away my power and giving it away to someone else, instead of doing it for myself initially and then having that person add on to what I'm already like doing. So that if that person does disappoint me, doesn't show up in this way, doesn't show up at all, or whatever the case may be, it wouldn't feel devastating. It wouldn't feel like earth shaking. Yeah, it might be still a little disappointing, it might hurt, but it wouldn't completely change my mood or put me in these emotions that that I truly the way I feel emotions, I feel them the way that I feel emotions, I feel them very deeply. And I haven't been the proudest of it, because people will call you sensitive, say that you're doing too much, and a lot of times it's like, no, like, you're feeling like you're human. It's okay. This is just a reinforcement of letting myself know that I am not hard to love, right? It's not hard to love me. I'm very easy to love. There's so many things that you can love about me, even with the things that may be ugly or could be better. Like, overall, I'm actually pretty easy to love. I'm pretty easy to see and feel and get to know and cherish and be around. And unfortunately, a lot of times I would let the people that didn't even deserve to be in the same room as me, I would let the people that couldn't even hold the kind of conversations that I can hold be around me, and I would let their energy define me. I would let their negativity feel for me, and that's not fair to me, because I've also been around people who are my equals. I've been around people that, even if they are better than me in aspects, whether it's career-wise or they are better at relating to people, better at communicating, they don't make you feel like shit about it. You know what I mean? They don't make you feel like you're a bad person, and they still see who you are and who you're trying to be, and they're your cheerleaders, they're your supporters, they are the people that are beside you. That in itself is affirming, but like, you have to be that person for you as well, because at the end of the day, like, you don't have to be all that you got. You can have other people to be next to you, to be your supporters, but you need to have you as well. Like, all of it is not going to matter. Like, you're not going to be able to even receive other people's love, other people's support, if you're not even supporting and doing for yourself. Where I would give and give and give, when I would notice that, like, I'm not getting what I really want, or getting the reaction, or getting the particular result that I'm looking for, and that would make me give, and then they will take and not reciprocate, and now I'm pissed, right? Now we're back to scratch, if anything, moving backwards. And this is just something where it's like, it's a life journey lesson that I'm working through. I think a lot of people can relate, especially if you are maybe a people pleaser, maybe you're just somebody who has a huge heart but you lack boundaries. Like, these are just lessons that unfortunately you are learning in ways that break your heart or put you in situations that you really had no business being in. But the beautiful thing is, like, you have the strength that a lot of people do not have. And with that, you can use that to get yourself out of that. Give yourself the love that you're looking for. You are the love that you're looking for. There are just things that we need to be doing in order to honor ourselves, regardless. It just makes our happiness and our value not contingent based on what another person is doing for you or how someone is treating you. You can't make someone treat you with respect, but you can teach them, however that looks for you, right? You can't make someone care, but you can show them in ways why they should care. And if they don't, they don't. And if they do, they do. For instance, I'm someone that loves flowers. I love receiving flowers. I love giving flowers. And when I say flowers, I mean actual flowers. I even like little sentimental things. Like, if you saw a bracelet that reminded you of me, like, even if it's not something I like, I'm going to hold it and love it because it came from that person that I care about. I love gifts that are catered to me, that make me feel like that person sees me and knows me, or at least wants to get to know me. I don't do really well with pattern disruptions. Like, if you're the kind of person that texts every morning, good morning, or you always do a particular thing every day and then you don't do it that next day, I'm going to look at you and be like, something's wrong. If a person has been doing something consistently and then they just abruptly stop, that will make me look for, okay, what's wrong? There's something wrong. There's something bad coming. Because I usually end up internalizing it, and I'm always wondering, like, okay, why is this person not doing something they did a week ago? Why is this person doing something? Is something that I'm doing? Do they not like me anymore? Da, 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 da. So many different questions pop into my head, and then I usually end up in a cycle, and then I usually self-sabotage, and yeah. Can you guess my attachment style, or have you not received that enough information yet? Obviously, a lot of this can be bypassed with like communication, but a lot of times, you realize that people really truly have different communication styles, and sometimes that can bring rifts into that particular relationship, whatever the relationship is. I need to evaluate how I am providing for myself. So basically, how am I showing up for myself regardless of how other people move or act? That process, of course, has its ebbs and flows. I want to make this an apology to myself for any time I haven't shown up for myself or talked down about myself, haven't given myself the love that I know that I need to know that I'm worthy, I am valuable, I'm beautiful. For times I didn't defend myself, or I've let myself down, I wasn't consistent with myself. And I aim to no longer continue this cycle within myself. This is something that I'm going to make a promise to myself on, of showing up for myself, loving myself the way I need to be loved. People are going to move however they want to move. That's something you cannot control. And really, only God can do it. Only God could control what really people could do. But even then, that's why God gave us free will. But I want to use my free will to love myself like I'm my own friend. Like I'm my own lover, my own parent, my own mentor, just my own just lovable person. So a challenge I want to give you as the viewer, I will also be doing this myself. I already written it down. I will put out a list of all the actions, and of course you can add to this as time goes on, because a lot of times, like, you're also learning these things too. There are things that you don't even know that you needed until later in life. But I want you to write down a list of all the actions and things that tell you or make you feel loved, as if you were writing it for someone else, and then do it for yourself. We're no longer going to be afraid of our own love, because without it, the world will feel the difference. We may think that we are small, insignificant to this big world, but your love does make a difference. That's why it's here today. So here's a sample of my list. I don't want to give the full list because I don't need no stalkers trying to love bomb me or whatever. But here's a little sample of my list that I wrote down. I'm going to read it right now. Getting flowers. I love getting flowers. Taking myself on dates. I love going out on dates, spending time with myself, putting myself in new experiences, new environments, and, you know, whether that's a dinner date, whether that's an escape room, whether it's a class or something I haven't done before, I'm going to start doing those things. I also want to talk to myself more in a mirror. I think I underestimated the power of that, and I've noticed a difference in my mental health, but also in how I'm seeing my body as well when I talk to myself in the mirror and hype myself up. Like, genuinely, like, hype myself up as I would a friend. Because I do it for everybody else when I do it for yourself. So I want to, like, talk to myself, pick a body part, and tell myself what I love about it, even if it's not the most loved part of myself. And when I say loved, I mean by me. This list will be added on to as time goes on. I want you to try this week. Try it today. You can start with just writing the list out, and then tomorrow we can start the list physically in real time. I genuinely enjoyed this video talking about this topic. I feel like there's more I can say about it. Let me know in the comments down below what you think. Let me know the ways down in the comments of where you want to show yourself more love. How can you show up more for yourself? It might give someone else or myself ideas on how we can show up for ourselves and love ourselves the way that we need to feel loved, regardless if that person or that job or your friends or anybody, regardless of how they show up for you, because you have to show up for yourself. I love you guys. I hope that this video did well for you, as it actually was very therapeutic for me. Please like this, share this, subscribe. I need you to click that notification bell, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.